So number 14 says Cynthia and her father planted a tree in their front yard 8 years ago. The tree was 2 meters in height when it was planted, and the scatter plot below shows how the height of the tree increased each year. So this graph below is going to be the tree height over time. And if I scroll up a little bit, yep, I can see that the height is represented by the y-axis. Gets bigger as time goes on, as the amount of years pass. So after 1 year, the height was probably about 2.7 meters. After 2 years, the height of the tree was 3 meters, and so on and so forth. You get the idea, right? As years pass, height grows. So the question is, which of the following most closely approximates the equation of a line of best fit for the data points in the scatter plot? And you're given these choices, right? So it looks like we're looking for the slope-intercept form of a line, or that y equals mx plus b. So y equals mx plus b. If we know the slope is m, if we could figure that out and we could figure out the y-intercept, we'd have the solution to this, because we just plug in the slope and plug in the b, and right, y equals whatever the slope is times x plus whatever the y-intercept is. So let's see if from this graph we can find the slope and the y-intercept. So a line of best fit is a line that approximates or fits all these points in as best as it possibly can. And if I can get up the line right there, if I draw a line from here, I think right about here would cover the most points. So change that back to green. From right here I can tell that the y-intercept, or the b part, is going to happen right here. When x equals 0, y is going to be 2, or the point 0, 2. That's my y-intercept. So let's write that down. B equals 2. Now the slope, a lot of people ask me, well, Mr.Le, when I'm finding the slope, where do I count from? Well, you count from the point where these up and down lines and these back and forth lines intersect. Like right here's an intersection. Right here, there's an up and down line. It intersects with the back and forth line. Right here. And right here. So if I was to count the slope, or try to figure out what it was, I'm going to draw this in red. For every 1 I go up, I go over 1, 2. Up 1, over 2. Up 1, over 2. And I'm drawing this with a mouse, so it's kind of rough. But my slope, or m value, rise over run, is going to be, I'm going to go up 1, and then I'm going to run 2. So those are my two values. Now when I plug that in, I'm going to do this in light green. When I plug that in, I should come up with y equals 1 over 2 times x plus 2. Let's see if that's an answer. Oh, from there, no. Right there. That part. Our slope was 1/2. Our y-intercept was 2, so there you go. Next problem. 15. Let's see if I can fit the whole thing in here. The diagram below shows a parallelogram MNPQ and one of its dimensions. The perimeter of the parallelogram MNPQ is 54 centimeters. and I know this is cut off, but I'm going to read it. What is the length in centimeters of NP? So what's this length right here? The perimeter is, if I add this side and this side and this side and this side all together, I should come up with 54. And the key to this is to realize that in a parallelogram, let's see if I can bring up a picture. In a parallelogram, if this side is 12, then the side across is cut off in exactly the same places. So this side has to be 12 as well. So I'm going to write that in light green. 12. And this side, this length NP and MQ also have to be equal. So I'm going to label those both with an X. Label that X, label this X. From there, you're given that the perimeter is 54, so all those sides added up together, this side plus the top and the bottom, have to equal 54. From there, I fill in the values and I just add. 12 plus 12 is 24, and NP, remember we chose that to be X, and MQ we chose that to be X. So X plus X, I'll actually just write X over these. X plus X is going to be 2X equals 54. From there, it's a matter of using algebra to figure this out. I'm going to try to isolate this X, and I'm going to subtract 24 from both sides. So if I subtract 24 from the left side, 24 subtract 24 is going to be 0. And then I'm going to subtract 24 from the right side. And that leaves me with 2X is equal to 54 minus 24, that's 30. And I'm writing with a mouse here, so it's kind of a pain. And then from there I have 2 times X equals 30. Well, what number times 2 equals 30? If you don't see right away, that's 15. You can divide both sides by 2. And I'm left with, if I divide both sides by 2, bring this up a little bit, I'm left with X is equal to 15 centimeters. And that equals to our length NP. NP. And that's our answer right there. So